All right, Oskie fans, NFL 2024 Week 1 in review. So let's start off things with Kansas City, Baltimore. We had picked Baltimore to win that game, but as we all saw, Baltimore just couldn't get it done. Lamar Jackson ran as if he was a running back. They get Derrick Henry, and wasn't a success. Not in my eyes. Now, is Kansas City better receiver wise? Most definitely. Did they go out and get our Longhorn, Xavier Worthy? Of course they did. Now, he is bringing a different dynamic that they did not have last season. He's number one, he's taking the top off the defense. Number two, Andy Reid is paired with him to where he's putting him in the best position to score, to gain yards. That guy is going to be up for, I'm not going to say rookie of the year because it hardly happens with the receiver, but he's going to have some good numbers this season for sure. It's hard for me to ride with him because he's with the Kansas City Chiefs, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. The next game, obviously, you see it right here. Eagles versus the Packers. Now, the biggest thing that I really wanted to see on this game was how was Jalen Hurts going to play, but also how was our defense going to respond to how they were getting waxed all season. And I ended up seeing that Bradbury was placed on IR, so he was going to be gone for at least 4 weeks. And how was Quinyon Mitchell going to do? I'm hyped. I'm just hyped. Who do you know as a rookie could go in there with that type of expectation and perform? And not just perform, but exceed expectations. I don't even know if Bradbury will even get his spot back. If it was me, I'd probably put him as a safety or get him ready to become a safety. Or put him in the slot because the Maddox, I don't know, ever since he got hurt a couple years back, I don't know. He doesn't look quite right, but maybe, it is the first game of the season. I'm gonna let him slide a little bit. But Bradbury was getting cooked all season last year, so we're not gonna let that go. But Quinyon is a baller. There's no denying that. I was a little concerned about our defensive line. You could tell that they kind of got a little worn down, but overall our safety play was good. C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming back, that was a huge upgrade. Blankenship does his thing. Very smart player. Big play Slay doing his thing. Linebackers. This is another thing I wanted to see about our defense. Who is going to step up? Who's going to be talked about? Because really, our linebacker play hasn't been relevant for years now. We get some guys that might play okay 1 week or, a couple weeks at a time, but nothing really solidifying themselves as that premier linebacker. But the guy that we got from New Orleans, Vaughn, yeah, he had a heck of a game. A heck of a game. Nakobe Dean coming back. I was pretty critical of him during the game. I was really ticked off because he wasn't a force I expected him to be as he was in college. Now, I understand that he's been hurt, but he showed flashes though. He did show flashes whenever he's on the run, whenever he's going up against the running game, he did his thing. He came up, saw the screen to the left-hand side, went and blasted him. I like it. I know he's gonna need more reps, so I give him a C+ grade on this game. Can be better, but maybe over time he's gonna figure it out. get acclimated to what Vic Fangio wants them to do, and he should be fine. But only time will tell. But Bond is solidified right there. And I know it's just game one. But he was popping off my screen. And for me to say that about a linebacker is rare, especially these last 5 years or so at least. So, yeah, but overall defense, I think they played well. Now, were there some obstacles that they had to overcome? Yes. Offense, we've got so many weapons. I think that I was starting to see at the very beginning them put the defense in a bad spot multiple times. And what did the defense do? They held Green Bay, who is a really good offense, to just 6 points off of those turnovers. So big kudos to the defense. They did their thing. Overall, as a unit with the rookie corner stepping in, and they tried him a couple times. But he held his own. He got one PI called on him, which, okay, But honestly, that was it. That was it. Quinion was every bit of advertised. Like he is that guy. Now, I know Darius Slay's getting a little bit older. Probably has a couple of good more years left in him. I think we're sitting all right. DeJean, he's another one. Played in the slot, he did some things for us. Now I think he'll come along. So I think we're sitting nice. It could have been worse, but they responded, and that's all I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see, if they would be able to do that on the road, international play, Brazil. And they did that. Can't deny him. So Vic Fangio, he dialed it up. I liked it. Pressured when we needed a pressure. Played in our zone. Yeah, he did his thing. I like it. Overall, I give him a B. I'll give him a B. Mainly because we won, but it showed promise. Now we're gonna switch over to the offense. Jalen's got to play better. I understand he didn't play. He hardly played in the preseason. So, rust. But offensive line had some hiccups, mainly with the center position. But that was to be expected. If anybody thought that it was going to be a seamless transition from a Hall of Fame center, Jason Kelsey, then they were fooling themselves. There's going to be some hiccups here and there. But hey, Cam, we got faith in you. We still have one of the top 3 offensive lines in the game. So I'm not really concerned. When we needed to run the ball, we ran the ball effectively. Saquon just is a special guy. Special football player, special individual. He came over and dominated. And I bet the Giants are kicking themselves for just allowing him to walk to a division foe. How all of them should be fired right now. If I was an owner, I would have fired the GM, the coach, the scouts, whoever was in that room should have been fired immediately. But hey, their loss is our gain. So I'm gonna take it. 3 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 2 on the ground. Yeah. And he looks lighter and faster than what I saw in New York. But look, he was behind an atrocious offensive line in New York. The Giants are still garbage. So of course he was going to show out with us. Now, AJ Brown doing his thing. Zaire Alexander was over there bumping his gums. And what did AJ do? Nothing much. Just go ahead and score. It was easy. Pitch and catch with him. Yeah, there was nothing that dude could have done. But I'm glad that happened. I'm glad Alexander riled up AJ Brown. Because then that's when everything started clicking. That was it. So definitely was a tough game. I think either team could have won that, but we at the end prevailed. Now we had a 4-minute drive that needed to happen to win the game. Turned to a seven minute drive. So all in all, I give the team overall B. Can't go more than that because I need to see more. I need to see Jalen, command that offense. I need to see the center play better. I need to see our defense overall continue to play better. 34 points, and we still had multiple turnovers. They just think if once we get everything situated, we should be averaging about 30 to 40 points. As long as everything is done correctly, that's what I predict on that. Now, moving on to, let's see, Jaguars, Dolphins. Jaguars were up in this game 17-7, and then all of a sudden, the Dolphins end up going off. They end up making a good comeback, winning the game. So Trevor Lawrence has to play better. He's got to do better in these games. He's got to win those games. You can't get paid all that money and not come through. Okay? Now, again, it's the first game. We're going to see how this plays out. But do I think the Jaguars are going to be better this year? I believe so. Dolphins, they should be. They have a potent offense. They have a great coach. They're going to be good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Texans versus the Colts. Look, Texans are really good. I think this game was pretty sloppy. This game was going back and forth for most of the game. C.J. Stroud was still looking good. Anthony Richardson, he was doing his thing. He did throw an interception, but he did good. He played a pretty good game. He tried to bring him back towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. They were down too much with not that much time left. And hey, C.J. Stroud is continuing to be a force in this league. I mean, he has Mixon. Mixon had 30 carries for 159 yards and a touchdown. That's what a really good young quarterback needs is a running game. Collins, 6 receptions, 117 yards. Now that's balance right there. So, but I think Indianapolis is going to be really good this year. If Anthony Richardson can just stay healthy, get his accuracy down, they might be all right this year. We'll see. So, good win for the Houston Texans. It was a divisional game, so they're already one up on them. Now, Bills, Cardinals. Cardinals were up in this game. And then all of a sudden, Josh Allen just started going off. Now, on this one, it hurt my fantasy because I had Marvin Harrison Jr. And what did he give me? I'm going to tell you. 1 reception, 4 yards. Targeted only 3 times in this game. How in the hell are you going to have a top player in this past draft and utilize him that poorly? Look, Kyler Murray, 21 of 31, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. You're utilizing everybody else except your main guy. And he is supposed to be the main guy. But, and they lost. 34-28, they lost. Should have got him involved a little bit more. But hey, James Conner, he rushed for 16, but 16 carries, 50 yards. Kyler Murray had more yards than him. I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna really do much this season, anyways. But the Buffalo Bills, they did some good things. 18 for 23, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 sacks. That's Josh Allen's stat line. They had James Cook, 19 carries for 71 yards. Josh Allen had 9 carries, 39. I mean, that's, pretty much what he does. He also had 2 touchdowns on the ground. So, he was doing it all for sure. So, a lot of guys were stepping up. He was, moving the ball around. But that's Josh Allen. He is that type of a talent. Kyler Murray is not a Josh Allen. And we all know this. So, good win for the Buffalo Bills. We'll see how they'll adjust without Diggs. A lot of people didn't even think that they would even win this game, but they did good. They had a pretty good game. Patriots just beat up on the Bengals. Joe Burrow couldn't get anything going. I was really shocked about this one, as was everybody else that was on the commentary. Burrow went 21 for 29 for 164 yards, no touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett's 15 of 24 and 121 yards. One of the biggest things was Stevenson for the Patriots. 25 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. So, yeah, that was a shocker right there, because I definitely didn't think the Patriots were going to win that game. But, hey, is it just rust? A lot of these games seem like they were just rusty. They didn't play a lot in the preseason. So, I mean, it is week 1, so we'll see. Vikings and the Giants. Vikings beat the mess out of the New York Giants 28-6. Daniel Jones, let me give you all this stat line. 22 out of 42, 186 yards and 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. Running back, Singletary, 10 carries for 37 yards. Do you think that they're missing Saquon right now? I would think so. This is ridiculous. This is who they paid instead of Saquon. Crazy. I'm telling you right now. And he threw a pick 6. So, let me see who they got next. I'm curious now. Oh, they got the Commanders. Now, I would mess around and pick the Commanders for next week. That's just me, but we'll make our picks later on this week. But, Sam Darnold, 19 for 24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Jones, 14 carries rather, Aaron Jones. Just in case y'all didn't know, they got him. He had 14 carries, 94 yards, a touchdown. So that was good. Jefferson still got him a touchdown, 59 yards, 4 receptions. So, again, we'll see what happens on the next game. I think the Vikings play the 49ers. That should be a good one. I'll definitely be going for the Minnesota Vikings on that one. But let's see here. Panthers and the Saints. Is Bryce Young a busted quarterback already? The Carolina Panthers kind of remind me of the Browns. That's where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. Saints beat them 47-10. I was actually wanting to see what the Panthers were going to look like, and they looked horrible, just like last year. So Saints, not too bad, 47. But you were playing the Carolina Panthers, so it's not really. We'll see. Steelers and the Falcons, that was a horrible game to watch. I don't care if you were a Steelers fan or a Falcons fan, that was horrible. So the Steelers only could muster field goals that whole game. That was I would have. I don't even know if I would have stayed on the sideline right there. It's ridiculous. Falcons, what are y'all doing? Y'all aren't even using Bijan Robinson. Why would you pick him that early in the first round if you're not even going to utilize him? And you see how passionate I am about this because he was on my fantasy. He was the one who I needed to score just one touchdown. You're going to see that that's a theme on this Sunday. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, obviously coming back from Achilles injury. He's going to be rusty, but, nothing to write home about with the Atlanta Falcons or the Steelers. Well, the Steelers, I'll give it to them. TJ Watt is that guy on defense. He might arguably be the best defensive player that we got in the league right now. That boy is bad. So, Steelers, defensive-wise, was good. Raiders and the Chargers. Chargers just, 22-10. They did their thing. They did what they're supposed to do. Las Vegas, can they do what they can they repeat what they did last year? I don't know. Maybe. But that's gonna be, they're still trying to figure out their quarterback play. Gardner Minshew is not the answer. I can tell you that right now. He's not. And when you're going up against Harbaugh and Herbert and, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers have been underachieving for years. So Broncos versus the Seahawks, I didn't even watch this game. I figured the Seahawks would win. Nix is not going to be the he's a young quarterback for the Broncos. And if anybody thought that he was just going to do so well just because he has Sean Payton, then come on now. You don't know football. That guy went for, look, as a rookie, you're going to have him throw 42 passes, completed 26, 138 yards, and 2 interceptions. Come on now. Come on. Let's be real here. So, Geno, nothing spectacular. 18 for 25, 171, 1 touchdown, 1 intro. Walker, their running back, Kenneth Walker. He had a really good game. 20 carries, 103 yards, 1 tutty. And Tyler Lockett, 6 receptions, 77 yards. But again, they're playing against the Broncos. How much stock can I really put in it? But a dub is a dub. A dub is a dub. And I like that Geno got him a fresh start over here. I like what he's been doing these last couple years. If anybody deserved a shot like that, especially all the stuff that he had to go through with the Jets, it was Geno. So I'm happy for the man. Keep it up, Geno. Now, Cowboys versus the Brownies. I think that Jerry and possibly Dak already had this deal in place. But Jerry, he wants to make that splash. Why do it during training camp? Why do it during OTAs? Nah, Jerry wants headlines. Jerry wants to be the center of attention every single time. So what does he do? Signs Dak, and boom, it's released that morning. So I went ahead and placed a little bet on him. I was like, you know what? He should be able to get 2 touchdowns, whether it's rushing or passing. That's all I needed. And CD, he just got paid. I just needed 1 touchdown from you. And what they do? Let me down, unless it's in the playoffs. Woo-hoo-hoo. But really, Dak went 19 of 32, 179 yards, and 1 touchdown. And when did he get that touchdown? The very first quarter. So I was already hyped because I was like, you know what? I just need him to throw 1 more within the next 3 quarters. I'm golden. And this has been a trend with him going back to last season as well. But I don't know why I bet on him. I don't know why. Ezekiel Elliott making his return. 10 carries for 40 yards, 1 touchdown. I give it to him. Not too bad. CD, 5 receptions, 61 yards, no touchdown. But hey, they went in there, did their thing, and dropped 33 on them. Against a defense that is going to possibly finish within the top 3, for sure the top 5. And Brown fans, Brownies, Dog Pound, what is going on with Deshaun Watson? Do y'all really think that he was worth $230 million? Guaranteed. And that's been years now. Years. Look, I liked Deshaun. I really did. When he was in at Clemson, even a little bit whenever he was in Houston, but after all the off the field things that happened, and then now he's like, he had a couple of injuries. I believe it was his shoulder last year when he was like 5-1, but really they didn't even win those games mainly because of him. But 5-1 is still 5-1. He just doesn't look the same. He looks like a shell of himself. 24 out of 45 passes completed, 169 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That's not worth $230 million. I'm sorry. $230 million for that? I just don't get it, man. Don't get it at all. Because you would have thought that with what they were doing, they have been dominant on defense, but just never have a quarterback, a competent quarterback. So that's why they went and paid and outbid themselves on this contract just to get him. And now it looks like the worst trade or the worst signing of all time. And just a year and a half ago, everybody was saying that it was Russell Wilson to the Broncos because of how much they gave up to get him. Now, I can tell you this. If Deshaun Watson does not start producing within the next 2 to 4, maybe 5 games, he's done. This will be his last contract. I don't think anybody will want to sign him. Because what kind of tape is he putting out there that you should even want to even think about signing this guy? It's horrible. You're wasting the prime years of Myles Garrett, that defense, because you can never hit on a quarterback. Never. It's a sad thing to see, boys. Sad thing to see. So that'll be an interesting team to watch, just to see if they're going to crash and burn, specifically him. Now, Commanders versus the Bucks. Bucks won that one, 37-20. I didn't see it. I heard a lot of great things about Baker Mayfield, though. Let's see. 24 out of 30, 289 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I didn't even know that it was 4 touchdowns. I just knew that he had a great game. But god dang, they won by 17. Let's see. Jaden Daniels, 17 for 24, 184. No picks, but also no touchdowns. So, let's see. Man, he was their leading passer and leading rusher. 16 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So, okay. Oh, I forgot they got Austin Eckler. So 4 receptions, 52 yards. I don't know if that's what you're going to want to see from your running back being your best receiver. But, hey, probably a lot of check downs for him. So, hey, it's a good start for the Tampa Bay. They bounced us out. So, can't really say nothing until we play them again if we get that opportunity. Now, Rams versus the Lions. I appreciate Jared Goff. He looked out for me in overtime. I was like 0.01 points away on my prize picks, and he came through for me. 5 turned in a hundo. So appreciate it. Now, I didn't get to really watch a lot of that game, but looked like they were going back and forth, you know. But let's see, 34-49, 317 yards from Stafford, 1 tutty and 1 interception. 18 for 28, 217 from Jared Goff, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. I mean, Montgomery has 17 carries, 91 yards for 1 touchdown. So, I mean, their receiving core, they were chunking that ball. It was a pretty evenly matched squads. So, Lions prevailed. So, no surprise on that one. And then last night, Monday night, the Jets versus the 49ers. Now, this is an interesting one only because people wanted to see Aaron Rodgers. Was he going to be able to last a couple of plays like he couldn't last season? Was he going to hold on to the ball too long, a second too long when it's a 3-step drop and everybody's getting cut and then they're going after him? He did okay. They lost 32-19, but they did all right. Now, he was rusty. He hadn't played in about a year. So, that's to be expected. So can't really fault him on that. Line did a good job for him. 49ers are just better. The defense for the Jets, a lot of people were really upset with Robert Saleh. His defense couldn't hold up. And this is another defense that could possibly be in the top 5. They're that good. But they are missing Hassan Reddick, which I'm kind of glad we did go ahead and trade him for Huff because Huff played a really good game. Not too bad. And now look, they have a headache in Hassan Reddick because they're not doing what they're supposed to do as an organization when you trade for somebody who you already knew needed a contract, wanted a contract, deserved a contract. What did you expect that guy to do? And there may have already been a deal in place, but the numbers changed. Yeah, they kind of fumbled. Well, they didn't kind of. They fumbled that one. They could have definitely used him last night. McCaffrey was ruled out. Game time decision. But I tell you what, Jordan Mason, their running back, 3rd season out of Georgia Tech, 28 carries, 147 yards, and 1 tutty. If anybody had this guy on their fantasy team, I'm pretty sure they won their first week. Because nobody saw this guy running for that many yards and that touchdown. Nobody. Now, Brock Purdy hit 19 out of 29, 231 yards, no touchdowns, but also no interceptions. He leaned heavily on that defense and that running game, and I don't blame him. Aaron Rodgers, 13 for 21, 167, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Bryce Hall, he did okay. 16 carries, 54 yards, 1 touchdown. Lazard, he had 6 receptions, 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. New York Jets definitely aren't going to the Super Bowl. Not looking like this. And if you're trying to depend on Aaron Rodgers, who y'all don't even have, y'all can't even say that y'all even have a good offensive coordinator. He really should have tried to get an offensive coordinator who actually knows how to do their job. Because I just don't see a dynamic offense here. And you have a dynamic receiver who is really being underutilized. Allen Lazard should not have more receptions, more receiving yards than Garrett Wilson. It just shouldn't happen. So, don't want to spend too much time on the Jets. Week 1, everybody was still rusty. I think that a lot of these teams, a lot of these players will get better throughout the next couple of weeks once they get their stamina right, get everything going. But only time will tell on that. I'm excited for week 2. Week 2, we got some good games coming up. Thursday, Bills versus the Dolphins. That one's going to be a good one. I'm going to cover that one right now just because, just to have it ready. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills, even though it is in Miami, with all the stuff that's going on with Tyreek Hill. I understand that. The emotions will probably be high, but I still think that Allen, he's gonna go ahead and gather the troops, go down south, get him a dub, and get back up to New York. So, who do they got favored right now? Oh, Miami by 2.5. Okay. So, but that's pretty standard when you're at home. It should be 3, but yeah, I think Allen is gonna throw and run just like he had to do in this last game, because whenever you lose Diggs, you gotta get that production from somewhere, and he's that durable to be able to do that. So yeah, that'll be a good matchup. Their defense is going to have to hold on, especially going against Tua and Tyreek and Waddle and all them boys. So, that should be a good matchup. They normally will give them fits, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills on this one. And our week 1 game ball for offense, I'm going to have to go with Saquon. Saquon, 3 touchdowns. Eagle debut in a foreign country. First player to score a touchdown in South America. That's monumental. Now, I know some of y'all might be thinking Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns. He did his thing. He has honorable mention on that one. Honorable mention. So I can't deny his, to give him his props. Now, defensive wise, I got to go with the Chicago Bears. Because if it wasn't for the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams would not have gotten his first dub. Now, mind you, everybody's throwing out the stat that he was the first rookie to win his very first game since David Lay on Your Back Car back in 2002. So, I can't really give him that credit because, yeah, he started the game. He played like garbage. Yeah, I haven't really been that high on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, to me, is an okay player. I'm not going to say that he's a generational player. That is to be seen. Now, everybody has been riding him, saying that he was really good. And yeah, did he win the Heisman? Yes, I understand that. Did he do some great things in college? Yeah, he did. But all in all, I don't see it. I don't see generational talent. I just don't. And when you go 14 for 29, 93 yards, granted, this is his first game, but just garbage. I don't see it. Now, Will Levis, 19 for 32, 127 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, 1 pick six. Horrible. They had that game and they allowed the Bears to come in and steal it pretty much. So Tennessee, until that quarterback play gets right, they're not going to win many games. Tony Pollard looked okay, though. I'll give him that. And they have Calvin Ridley. So they could do some things, but you just got to make better decisions, Levis. You got to. And Caleb Williams, I wish you the best. Hopefully you do live up to all those expectations. So defense, they get the game ball on that one. All right, so that's it for our Week 1 NFL review. Tune in later on this week. We'll have our picks ready for the Sunday games. Don't forget to follow, subscribe to our YouTube, TikTok, and all of our other platforms. Peace.